You are welcome to our channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you give us your thumbs up, like and share our stuffs. If I had the power to rig elections, how can Obaseki defeat my party? But he did. Who is saying this? It was Adams Oshiomhole. That Edo State is in the news again in a revealing interview with Independent TV. Former Edo State Governor Adams Oshiomhole discussed the unexpected political dynamics surrounding Governor Obaseki's tenure as governor. Oshiomhole, who initially supported Obaseki as his successor in 2016, reflected on the intricacies of the electoral process and his stance on election integrity. Despite Oshiomole's later opposition to Obaseki, the governor successfully secured re-election for a second term, a victory that Oshiomhole attributes to the capability of the electoral system. If I have the power to rig elections, or I'm a believer in rigging, how can Obaseki defeat my party? But he did, he stated. This assertion emphasizes Oshomole's belief in the legitimacy of the election process and reinforces his claim in maintaining fair electoral practices. Oshomole's comment arrived at a time when discussions about electoral integrity have gained significant traction in Nigeria. His willingness to acknowledge Obaseki's victory without resorting to claims of rigging illustrates a commitment to democracy, even amidst political rivalry. He further expressed that the successful outcome reflected not only Obaseki's capabilities but also the choices made by the electorate. The former governor's reflections challenged the narratives often surrounded electoral misconduct, highlighting a transformative moment in Edo politics. As Nigeria gears up for future elections, Oshomole's insights and the experience of his political journey may serve as valuable lessons on the importance of transparent governance and the people's voice in a democratic society. Senator Adams Oshiomhole is speaking in this regards, and there are certain things for me that we need to look into. Yes, he was talking about electoral integrity. If looking at the singular fact that while he was saying the election was in progress, this man happened to be in the ruling party. I think he was a chairman of the party for some time, and with the look of things, yes, the federal might does have it, and then the opportunity also to follow the norm by exerting himself as the political godfather of the state. He can also eventually do that. But I think since he has decided not to do such a thing, he's trying to lay an example for others to follow. Now, some lessons are supposed to be taken from it. Number one, political integrity. The politics here is not a do or die affair. It's a voluntary thing that a particular candidate or a person among the populace decided to bring himself to work for the people, and another person also volunteered the same thing, and another one does the same thing. And then when the people realize that they have many choices, they have to choose one out of all the people. And when one person is chosen, and so be it, and then let it go. But some want to say that being in power is their birthright. There is even some state in Nigeria whose acronym is born to rule sometimes ago, before probably a particular president had to change it, that some people believe is their right to rule the nation and things like that. If people are coming with such a notion, how can there be electoral integrity? You just realize that it is only going to be from a particular block of the society that you'll be getting those who want to be in charge of the affairs of the state. And I don't think that is good enough for our country. You have a secular state here in which anybody with the talent, with the opportunity, and then with the decision of the whole populace and come into power and serve meritoriously and then return to his or her own house after the service period. But it's a pity today that when any set of people get to power, they want to stay there, they want to install their own proteges, they want stooges for them to be there, they want to control underneath, even though they are not seen publicly, they still want to maintain. There are some that even after they have done their tenure and they have left, they still don't want to leave, as it were. They want to also still be the one in charge, making caricature of the whole process. and that doesn't speak well even for the country and for the politics and for the electoral process. Of course, looking at what Oshiomhole is saying as regards Obaseki, really, if peradventure he wants to begin to exert all those opportunities, he might as well have done that. Or probably he tried to do it and it did not work. But at least he can legitimately tell us today that he does not believe in all those rigging, that is emphasizing his belief in legitimacy of election process and to reinforce the claim of maintaining fair electoral practices, which is, I think, is expected of all politicians in Nigeria today to do the same thing. Whenever you go to contest, make sure that the will of the people is respected. If you have won, fine, and if you don't win, that's okay. And how do we also move this integrity of our electoral process further? By making sure it's demonetized. You see, if you don't spend much, there is no way you will be desperate. But in our climb today, people go to bank to take humongous amount of money for election purposes. And at the end of the day, where will they pay back? Which business are they doing that will give them the kind of money they went to borrow? Or how will they refund the loan? And that's why you see, when they now get to power, the first thing they do is to find a way of repaying that loan, thereby affecting their loyalty to the state. Because as long as they default in paying the loan, it's going to affect their own name and their position, and eventually they may you lose the office they even use the loan to in court now secure. So the first agenda they pursue is the issue of, for example, settling such a loan, and they become very, very selfish. Not only that, in another line, it might be that they are sponsored by someone, and they, he who pays the piper will dictate the tune. The sponsorer will begin to mount pressure, wanting to make sure that he decide on whatever is done in the administration, whether in the legislative sector or the even the judiciary sector and even the executive arm too. But then in this situation, if we demonetize our electoral process and let anybody come in, whether it's an Okada rider, whether it's a white collar job, a blue collar job, a contest, and the people want him and he wins and he goes in there to serve. He will only be paid his allowances and he will go peacefully. And those are some of the things that will help to maintain the integrity of our electoral process. So we're expecting more for maturity to be shown by our politicians, like this case of Adams or Oshiomhole. Let others also take example, and Nigeria will be in for a better political process in future. Thank you for coming to our station. Make sure you subscribe and like.